Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool, but before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Trent Alexander-Arnold informed Arneslot at the club's Kirkby training ground back during the March international break that he had decided to leave Liverpool after setting his heart on a new challenge. Alexander-Arnold, 26, confirmed on Monday morning that he will not be signing an extension to his contract, which expires in June. The England star is expected to complete a free transfer to Real Madrid in the coming weeks after being pursued by the Spanish champions for months. Speculation over Alexander-Arnold's future has been rife for months, and there had been little in the way of updates on contract negotiations with the right-back. But it has now emerged that all parties recognised Alexander-Arnold's mind was made up following a final meeting between the club's sporting director, Richard Hughes, and the players' representatives earlier this spring. It was then that Alexander-Arnold sought out Slot to explain his decision, citing his desire to experience a new challenge as the reason behind his exit. He is now expected to put pen to paper on a long-term contract with Real Madrid in the coming weeks. Extending Alexander-Arnold's contract has been at the forefront of Hughes' mind since he arrived at Anfield. His first call, in fact, after agreeing to become the club's sporting director, was to Alexander-Arnold's camp as he set about trying to get a deal done. But Alexander-Arnold's heart was set on a new challenge, even in spite of his love for Liverpool. He tried to express those feelings as best he could with a heartfelt message to supporters via Liverpool's in-house media team on Monday morning, saying, "There's a lot I would like to say to the fans. The main thing is a massive thank you. You guys have been there from the start with me. You guys have supported me, been there. I've felt the support, the love. Everything that you guys have done has never been unnoticed by me. I've loved every single minute of it. I hope they have felt that has been reciprocated and that I've given everything I could to the club. I'm just hoping that we're able to carry on winning games. The noise around my decision doesn't take away from the fact of what we've achieved this season. It has been an amazing season. It has been amazing to be part of it, and I just hope that everyone is able to maybe not dwell on this news for too long and be able to celebrate what the rest of the lads have done." Liverpool defender Trent Alexander-Arnold has confirmed he is leaving the club this summer. The Reds' right-back will join Real Madrid on a free transfer ending his 20-year stay at the club. Alexander-Arnold, 26, will depart having won 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League, FA Cup, 2 League Cups, Club World Cup and UEFA Super Cup. The club vice-captain has held talks with the Merseysiders to try to agree a new contract, but he has decided to take on a new challenge. He said in a statement, "After 20 years at Liverpool Football Club, now is the time for me to confirm that I will be leaving at the end of the season. This is easily the hardest decision I've ever made in my life. I know many of you have wondered why or been frustrated that I haven't spoken about this yet, but it was always my intention to keep my full focus on the team's best interests, which was securing number 20. This club has been my whole life, my whole world, for 20 years. From the academy right through until now, the support and love I have felt from everyone inside and outside of the club will stay with me forever. I will forever be in debt to you all. But I have never known anything else, and this decision is about experiencing a new challenge, taking myself out of my comfort zone and pushing myself both professionally and personally. I've given my all every single day I've been at this club, and I hope you feel like I've given back to you during my time here. From the bottom of my heart, I thank everybody, my coaches, my managers, my teammates, the staff, and our incredible supporters for the last 20 years. I've been blessed enough to live out my dreams here, and I will never ever take for granted the special moments I've been fortunate enough to have lived through with you all. My love for this club will never die." Alexander-Arnold joined Liverpool's academy at the age of just 6, having grown up nearby the club's old Melwood training ground. He would often watch training by standing on bins to peek over the walls bordering the training ground, where the likes of Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher would be put through their paces. Alexander-Arnold impressed Liverpool staff from a young age and was initially earmarked for a midfield role in the first team. But as he got closer to the first team, he started to feature at right back, and in October 2016, he was handed his senior debut by Jurgen Klopp against Tottenham Hotspur. Alexander-Arnold became the youngest player to start consecutive Champions League finals when the Reds beat Tottenham to win the European Cup in 2019, having also started the defeat by Real Madrid a year earlier. He would become a creative force in Klopp's team and racked up 13 assists in the Premier League in the 2019-20 campaign as they ended a 30-year wait for a league title. It remains a record for a defender. In 2 other seasons, he has contributed 12 assists in the league alone. In the 2021-22 season, when the Reds reached another European Cup final and won the 2 domestic cups in England, he notched 18 assists in all competitions. He was made vice-captain by Klopp in the summer of 2023, when Virgil van Dijk got the armband from the departing Jordan Henderson. This term under Arneslot, he has made 6 assists as the Reds won a second league title. Alexander-Arnold has not been as attacking or dipped into midfield as much under Slot, but he has still been a huge figure in the title-winning success. It is understood the defender was happy at Liverpool, but the chance of a new challenge abroad has enticed him to make a move. He will link up with England teammate Jude Bellingham in Madrid, and the pair have built up a close bond while playing for the national team. Real are starting to make changes to their team, and there's a chance Alexander-Arnold could work under former Liverpool midfielder Xabi Alonso in Spain. Carlo Ancelotti looks set to leave Madrid this summer, with Alonso the hot favourite to replace him. Liverpool tried to keep the defender at the club with sporting director Richard Hughes, making it one of his priorities when he arrived at the club last summer. In fact, it was the first call he made after accepting the role last year before he officially joined. But the club had already made contact with Alexander-Arnold last season to start talks, and his representatives with FSG even initiating discussions earlier. Talks were understood to be constructive, with an offer on the table to the player, which would have made him the best paid right-back in the Premier League and one of the highest paid in the world. However, despite continuing with talks, it became clear that Liverpool could not offer Alexander-Arnold what he really wanted, which was a new challenge. However, despite continuing with talks, it became clear that Liverpool could not offer Alexander-Arnold what he really wanted, which was a new challenge. Real tried in January to sign him then, but Liverpool rejected their approach as they were still keen to convince him to stay. Alexander-Arnold informed Slot in March about his decision after a final meeting with Hughes, when it became clear that he was intent on leaving. Arne Slot's newly crowned champions were given a guard of honour before kick-off, but that is where the respect ended. Chelsea were hell-bent on taking advantage of a much-changed Liverpool lineup, who were well below their best at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool had certainly earned the right to party and celebrate their success after clinching their 20th title at Anfield last week. The Reds were handing out gifts all over the pitch with an own goal and an injury time penalty for Cole Palmer to end his 19-game drought. That probably brought the biggest cheer from the home fans as they rolled over the champions with relative ease. And even the travelling fans in the away end were so busy singing about titles that they did not seem to be too worried about what happened on the pitch. With the title already in the bag, Liverpool boss Slot does not owe anyone any favours, but Chelsea were certainly given a big one because the victory is a huge boost for their chances of securing a Champions League spot. It was all too easy for Chelsea, who started on the front foot. Enzo Fernandez's third-minute opener was the fastest goal at Stamford Bridge since 2017, and they never looked back. Chelsea defended well. They only briefly wobbled after Virgil van Dijk's late consolation, but even that came too late to save the visitors. Chelsea's second goal, courtesy of a bizarre own goal off Jarell Quansah, just summed it all up, as Liverpool were guilty of some comical defending. The only sour note for Chelsea was Nicholas Jackson, who looked very unhappy at being substituted, but that felt like a small footnote by the end. They now look well capable of snatching a place in the top 5. The Liverpool fans, who battled their way to London despite chaos on the trains and tubes, were still singing, dancing and taunting until the end, as if it did not matter much anyway. "You should have signed for the champions," they sang at Romeo Lavia as they taunted the Chelsea midfielder who chose Stamford Bridge over Anfield a couple of years ago. Nothing much bothered them, and you can understand why. What a season they have enjoyed. Slot had promised to give everything until the end, but they were below their best, and Chelsea were bang at it. Slot also probably owed it to a few squad players to give them a go. Chelsea set the tone after just 3 minutes when Palmer spread a clever ball wide to Pedro Neto, wide on the right, who was given time and space to pick out a teammate in the penalty box. In rushed Fernandes, and the Chelsea captain had time, space and the composure to pick his shot and fire past Liverpool keeper Alisson and into the far corner. It was a dream start for Chelsea, and they rarely looked back. Liverpool were off colour as even Mo Salah could not find his touch. Even he looked miles off. Chelsea were given breathing space after 56 minutes with Palmer heavily involved in the build-up as the England star's low cross caused chaos in the Liverpool box. Van Dijk went to clear, but only ended up hammering the ball against fellow defender Quansah, and it cannoned past Liverpool keeper Alisson for Chelsea's rather comical second goal. Liverpool pulled one back when Van Dijk headed in Alexis Mac Allister's corner, but then the game got even worse for Quansah as he gifted Chelsea a penalty with a clumsy trip on Moises Caicedo and an open invitation to Palmer end his drought. Palmer stepped up and stroked it into the corner to complete the win.